Hey guys, Mutantcowboy here. If you saw my last couple videos, you basically know that I talked about 500 gear score items and what you should basically be doing with them, what kind of impact they're actually going to have in the new DLC. Well, this one I'm just going to basically be focusing solely on exotics. So if you have questions regarding exotics, what's going to happen to them, what you should do with them, just watch this and hopefully I can answer your questions. So I just want to dive into some of the Twitter comments that we've seen from the developers, because that's obviously the most accurate source of information itself. So basically we can see here that Nikki Coupons has said that you can find the level 40 versions of them, but basically they're not going to give us the upgrade blueprints for the old exotics, at least yet. That's kind of what they're saying here. In the second tweet here, we can see that Nikki says that all the sources for the old exotics will remain the same. The new exotics will have new and unique sources, and that the Eagle Bear will remain a raid exclusive, and that you can find the level 40 version in the level 40 raid. And also kind of reiterating that you can't upgrade it at launch, but that doesn't mean that you can't upgrade it ever. Obviously there was a follow-up question talking about, like finding these weapons in the open world, where Nikki replied that yes, just having the blueprints will allow it to drop, like all crafted exotics. You can also reacquire their materials and craft them at level 40 when you get there. Up to you if you want to partly redo the quest, farm, or wait. In this next tweet, Nikki's basically replying that somebody's worried that you're going to have to farm all the exact same old missions and all that stuff just to get the level 40 versions of the old exotics. But basically what he's saying is it's still going to be there because new players need a source to get these items. But you can still farm them in the open world or eventually make the blueprints. They just need to be there so that players who don't have them have a place to get them. Alright, and then somebody was asking for some clarification on the exotic blueprints and the exotic upgrades. Basically what's happening is that the Liberty, the Nemesis, and the Chatterbox are considered exotic blueprints. Everything else is considered an upgrade blueprint. So the things that are going to be available at the launch of the DLC are the exotic blueprints. If you get to level 40 and craft the Liberty, the Nemesis, or the Chatterbox, it'll be level 40. Anything else will not be available yet. So you will not have the ability to upgrade your, let's say, Lullaby to level 40 right away in the update. You'll have to actually wait a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to give that out or if there's going to be some sort of new method to basically get a new blueprint for it, an upgraded blueprint. But as of right now, that's how these are going to work. Now, a little bit of confusion came in when Frederick was trying to answer some questions regarding a lot of the gear topics and all that stuff. And basically what he was saying was that if you're going to level 40, then your mods, your exotics, and your complementary like gear mods will basically be stuff that you want to keep because until you get new stuff, you're not going to really want to get rid of it. But somebody asked, why would you keep the exotics? Basically kind of saying that won't the level 40 exotics have higher rolls and all that stuff than the level 30 stuff? Frederick kind of made a worrying remark here where he's basically saying we're still looking at feedback on our plans on upgrades. So I say worrying because obviously we're just a little over a week out from the update coming out, and they haven't really solidified a lot of that stuff. It's obviously a little bit worrying for the community. Now, what personally worries me about that statement is that it feels like they're kind of bending to the will of people who are just complaining about everything. Now, I just want a solid answer. Okay, I would like to know if the blueprints carry over or not. Yes or no. Okay, if the answer is no, that's fine. If the answer is yes, fine. What I don't want is everyone being like, oh, that's not fair, we worked hard for this. Well, you worked hard for the level 30, 500 gear score blueprint. You didn't work for the level 40 blueprint. So, that kind of argument is moot to me. It doesn't make sense. Like if you want the level 40 stuff, go and farm the level 40 stuff or use your 500 gear score stuff, right? So, I get it. There's some grumpiness in the community, but at the same time, you can't just have the game constantly bowing to the will of players who feel entitled that they should get everything right away. That's how I feel, because obviously if you just give everyone everything without actually having to work for it, then there's no point in even playing. If you guys are a little bit confused on what I'm saying, here's a little breakdown of it. Alright, if you have the Liberty, Nemesis, or Chatterbox blueprints, they will craft at level 40. All other blueprints are on pause for an unknown time to allow players to enjoy new exotics. Basically just requiring you to focus on getting the new stuff rather than playing with the old stuff. If you have the 30 blueprints, level 40 versions can still drop as loot. original sources of exotics still work at level 40. So if you want to farm the Chatterbox or the Nemesis or the Liberty, that kind of stuff, you don't have some of these exotics, you can still get them in the old ways. The Eagle Bearer is still a raid exclusive. The 40 version will be in the level 40 raid. Some of this might change because they are actually considering the feedback. So I don't know how that'll change. I don't know if it'll have any negative impacts or just more positive ones, but that's basically what they're doing. So we don't know exactly when they'll release what they've changed or if they will, release that information. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe on State of the Game this week. Who knows? All right, guys, that pretty much does it for me. Hope I answered some of your questions. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.